Thank you so much, Mr. Shubhankar, for joining us on a podcast at Doddle. Extremely grateful that you took out time early morning to share your insights with our global audience. I welcome you, sir, and this is going to be a very interesting session because we're going to cover, something around the new, labor codes that have come, and who better than you could have explained us to, to the entire audience. But before we go there, sir, I would love to know about your journey so far, understand to give a good context to our audience.
Yeah, thank you, Rishikesh, for having me here. So, Rishikesh, last 24 years, actually, I got a deep agility of morphing my career into different kind of industries. So first 7 to 8 years, I worked into operation. I was not into HR. Subsequently, I worked into different industries like retail, telecommunication, then construction companies like Kazaria, City and Guilds, then in the power transmission line towers, and last 5 years I'm with the automotive sector. Yeah, so there's a long journey actually. All these years I learned what kind of engagements, what kind of competency development program, and what kind of policies would get the best productivity of the employees who are coming from different industries.
And sir, since you have led HR across, as you told that, across various industries like automotive, telecom, infrastructure, retail, manufacturing, what has shaped your evolution into a strategic HR leader across such diverse sectors?
Yeah, so Rishikesh, actually, I would summarize into three categories how dealt with what are my HR strategies for three kinds categories of employees or headcount, I would say. So there are three categories. One is to contractual staff, and second category is unionized staff, and third category is management staff. So there are three categories of employees which works into manufacturing sectors, and there are three different kind of approaches required to deal with them to get the maximum output out of them, right? So the challenge regarding contractual staff, I would say, Rishikesh, is manifold, because one was, I think, definitely I thanks the government for initiating this new labor code, which help employees to have long term tenure with the organization. So the difference between that unemployment people and employees is that government has started a few scheme like Manrega, right? So where
Yes.
government guarantees rupees 370 per day, for at least 150 days in a year. The minimum guarantee government is giving. So these unemployment people who are not working anywhere, they don't want to work into industry. They say that I'm getting without any job this amount of money. Why should work some organization and or some manufacturing sector? So
Yes.
that is one of the biggest challenge we are facing for this casual staff. So at least with the new wage code, we can tell them that you will get a gratuity, you will get all kind of benefit which an on-roll employees get. Okay,
Yes.
only thing is you will limit your tenure with us for a fixed term period. So that's the only challenge. But of course, I would say this is challenging in terms of their availability, right? So I strongly believe this is all about the competition of the people for any industries who are able to have a strong pipeline of contractual staff, they can win the market competition, right? So what I would say that on seasonal demand, like for automotive sector, there are few months there are high demand, few months there are low demand. So we should be
Yes.
prepared for that. If you can't predict, we should prepare. So what we should do, instead of focusing on the same vendor, we should have various vendors who can provide us additional headcount, additional contractual staff to meet our seasonal requirement. So that's the one way to deal with contractual staff. One is giving them similar kind of benefit as a salaried staff, and filling the pipeline backlog of having strong pipeline of headcount help us an organization to survive. Second
Mm,
is regarding this union employees, second category employees,
mm,
unionized. So I think this is a long term strategy HRs have. So for example, any organization, they sign up a long settlement for every 4 years or so. We don't negotiate at the time of requirement, we negotiate at the time of settlement. Suppose we know that
mm,
every a few months there is a lean period, our orders will be low. So what we do,
mm,
we sign up an advance settlement that 5 days in a year that factory will be closed. 3 days
yes.
we will bear the cost, 2 days you bear the cost. So we say the union, you go on leave for 2 days without any payment, unpaid leave. So we save on electricity, canteen, transportation, everything, in electricity also. So
Mm,
that is a long-term settlement we signed up at the time of settlement, which works for the entire year for us. Now, regarding the third aspect, that's about people. The management is concerned. That's the third category of employees. Those are very critical. Why I'm saying so, because this category of employee, they
Mm.
manages rest of the category of employee. So they manage contractual staff, they manage union employees also.
Mm.
So, and I would say this category is most important. The one of the main reason is about, I'll give you an example, because any industry, any business is run with due to three factors. One is about a machine, second is about finance, and third about people. That are three
Mm.
pillars of any organization, for any business or any manufacturing process, or you talk about any kind of business. So
Yes.
machine and finance, they're limited. This is very easy to understand, that easy to assess also, that where we have reached and what level of efficiency we are giving the output. Even we
Mm.
reach up to 100%. But the third pillar of business, that is people. Nobody can say, nor you or myself can say that we are giving 100% efficiency. Nobody can
Yes.
guarantee it. So always there is an gap of 10%, uh, which somehow will if we're able to extract from the employees, that is going to directly hit the bottom line of the organization, that will directly help to achieve the EBITDA of the organizations. So this is most important. And how to manage employees. So employees, the skill is all about, we call it talent management also. So I would
Yes.
say there are three part of it. One is how to retain the employee. That's most important. Not only hiring, retaining the employee. So how we do it, not the way I do it. Normally this is all about, the reason is a relation between the employer, the management, and the teammate. If you see the big research, you always find that people leaves due to bad relation between the team and the bosses. First of all, for reducing this, what policy I follow, and managers should follow, that every quarter we should get a data, that how
Mm.
many employees are living under each of the managers. So
Mm.
once you have the data, you publish in transparent way with the top management. So every managers know that there are 10 people left last quarter, so how to improve in the next quarter. There is
Mm.
an directly it shows a bad managership. So once you show the data, that how many people living under each of the managers or each quarters, that data goes to every part, every top management leadership of the organization. That helps a lot. So that's important. And secondly, I would say we need to work on their development, their growth. I
Mm.
strongly believe that we should grow our own timber. So,
Yes.
how to develop our own talent? So, I think succession planning is one of the, I would say, biggest formula for talent development. Through succession planning, not only we get a chance employee to grow to the next level, but
Mm.
also organization develop their second leadership. So, how we do it? We normally prepare the employees who are ready now to take the position of a critical employee or take the position of an HOD. Somebody who's ready in 1 year, somebody who's ready in right now, and somebody who's ready in 2 years. So we prepare a list of the employees who can take a critical position or role of an HOD right now, 1 year or 2 years time. And we also identify what are the gaps for the development. For
Yes.
example, somebody who's ready now, he's weak into finance. So we'll make a training calendar and put exact date of the training, when this training will be happen, where and who will give this training. So for improvement plan of all these people are very much important. And I've
Mm.
seen many organizations, they do this discussion once in a year and they forget it. So
Yes.
what we should do, we should not forget it. We should create a concrete action plan against each of these people, and we should review every quarter whatever action we have noted down during our discussion on section planning. We should execute without fail. So then only we can develop the people, right? But one of the issue what we face in successional planning is, I've seen that many of the HODs, they found it very insecure to create a second level leaders. So they think
Mm.
that if he's ready, probably my job won't be there. So somewhere that confidence has to be given by the top management, that this is organization requirement to create a second pipeline. Because if you leave, you
Mm.
and anybody leaves, he leaves with the important know-how and business of the organization. So this is important to create that confidence to HODs, that we need to prepare the people, but your job will be secure until something go very bad. There will be any risk to your job. So that is the communication we should give from top management to the second level management. And also there should be transparency. Suppose if we keep somebody into second level or third level successor to a particular position, we should be very transparent. We should declare that to the organization, that this is the second guy, we need to prepare him. And we should not feel shy about that. We should be confident, and second guy will also feel comfortable that yes, I know this is my role, I need to perform better than what I'm performing now, right? So those things
Yes.
are important. And a few things like we should avoid biasism for hiring. I'm a reference hiring. Suppose a leadership goes from one industry to another industry, he try to take his entire team along with him, right?
Yes.
And the existing team separated from the system without any fault of theirs. Somewhere the top leadership come in the forefront and say we need to be very transparent how what we're doing, how we're sourcing, and we need to act with situational leadership. Those things are important. Rishikesh. Yeah.
Right, sir. Sir, related to, sir, this was very insightful, sir. Trust me, these are very practical insights that you basically gave to our audience, and this is very helpful. So, talking about the new labor code that has come in 2025, would also like to take your intellectual insights on its impact on the employees to start with, and then we'll go to the industries.
Right. So, Rishikesh, this is one of the best approach for the government to make it really ease for the business. So, we are comparing ourselves with China and other European countries. So, somewhere we need to compete with them. So, if you see other organizations, other industry, other countries, their compliances are very easy, and not too much of compliances. They are more business centric. So government is trying to do that. So I will separate the benefit to the employee and the industry into two different segments. Regarding employees, I would say, earlier minimum wage was not fixed. For definition of ESIC, definition of PF, and definition of minimum wage act, basic salary, there's a definition of salary was different. Now we're saying, the government is saying, we will fix the minimum wage. Will every year we declare the minimum wage, and this will be the minimum wage for any industry, irrespective of the state. This minimum threshold amount we have to pay. Balance top of that if any state want to pay, they can pay more than that. That's up to the states' directive principles. So that minimum wage is fixed, definition is fixed. This is one part. Second, the government is saying that 50% will be basic salary. So
Yes.
other allowances will be 50% and 50% will be basic. So what happened?
Yes.
How employee get the benefit? The three things like earn leave, gratuity, notice period, right, and provident fund. All these three to four things, depend on basic salary. If your basic salary is more, the rate will be applicable more, and ultimately employee get the benefit. You know, so they get more share of retirement benefit. Maybe their cash and salary may low for initially, but we'll say larger number of saving for the retirement life. The government will try to create a environment where employee can save more for the future. Just security for the future. So this is the best part of it. Secondly, is all the employee will get an appointment later. If they're joining. Now many organizations, the MSMEs normally they don't give appointment later. So this is mandatory now to give appointment later. Third thing is about leaves policy. Now, currently, for eligibility of earned leave is 240 days of working. So any year the employee should work 240 days, then is eligible for earned leave and those things. Now this is reduced to 180 days. Now if somebody work and contractual staff work with 180 days in a year, he will be eligible for earned leave. Thirdly, there's a gratuity benefit for gig workers, any employees. Now, earlier 5 years and 4 years or 6 months precisely was eligibility for gratuity. Now this is reduced to 1 year now. So any employee, any contractual staff you working with the organization for minimum 1 year is eligible for gratuity. Another benefit was on full and final settlement. So at the moment there's no fixed laws how many days full and final will settle the one employee is terminated or leave from the organization. Now this is that was fixed for only employees who was drawing at a salary of 24,000. Now this is for all the employees. Government is saying you need to settle their full final next 2 working days of separation from the organization. So that's mandatory. And in case of retrenchment, suppose terminate, I am as the MSME terminates an employee, I have to give 50 days salary for reskilling to the worker. Any organization who separate terminate an employee, they need to pay 15 days basic salary for reskilling the employee. So those are few benefits in terms of employees are concerned. Now coming to industries, what are the benefits? I would say these are really success from the government side. A lot of benefit for the industries. One of the biggest benefit is hiring fixed term employees. Initially, currently even a few organizations, most of the industries, what they're doing, they separate contractual employees after every 6 months. After a few months, so that they don't claim permanency. Now this problem has finished down. Government is saying you can hire as per the seasonal requirement. You can hire for 6 months, 1 year, 2 years. Mention that in appointment letter, and you can issue them. There's no issue. But till whatever term you are putting them on the job, you need to give all the benefit what an on-roll employee is getting. So that's the what government is saying. This is a good thing because You will agree with me. Most of the manufacturing process in the organization is dealt by casual staff, casual staff. They sometimes work as in loader, helper, assistant, all sort of things. So once we have large volume of this chunk of employee, will meet our production target shorter time, faster in all the shifts. We can work them. Secondly, this female employee also they can work in the night shift. Currently, we don't have any system to work them, engage them in the night shifts. Now, female staff can also work in the night. We don't need any kind of approval from the government. There are more rules like now union can negotiate for with the management if they have 50% vote share with them. So suppose a union in organization there might be many union, and every union they would have different uh, demand or negotiation with the management, which management has to decide as per the whims and fancies. Now the government said that any union, if they have 50% of majority of voting share, they can negotiate with the management, right? So that is there. Suppose they don't have 51% vote, all union come together and they create an 51% uh, vote share or opinion for a particular activity, and they can negotiate with the management. And next, one of the very important activity which has come, that is about a strike. Currently, any union can go on a strike without any notice. Only for utility organization, strike is applicable, like medical services, once somebody is making medical devices, army equipments, or railways, those things are applicable currently. But with the new rule, all the industries, suppose a labor union want to go for a strike, they should be giving minimum 14 days notice. Without that, strike will be illegal. Correct. And there are a few things like, for example, any legal case which is not resolved in 3 months with a consultation officer, after 3 months or 90 days, that can go to industrial tribunal. That case can be passed to industrial tribunal. So that's a very important thing. Regarding termination of employees, as of now, this is 100, but after this November, this bill is passed, declared by the government. So now any state can fire 300 people or more without approval of central government. Correct. So 300 numbers decided by government, but state they want to go further. Some states, suppose Rajasthan, they want to use the directive principles, and they said our state till 400 people termination, we don't need any law, we don't need any approval, so they can go ahead and do this, right? So that's there. OT hour capped into 48 hours. Now this one of the important activities about I want to share here is that imprisonment provision. I think most of the organization directors or occupiers sometimes they're afraid of. It's even natural. There are conditions which they can be sent to jail. So there are 87 rules under which occupier or directors may be imprisoned. That has reduced to 22 now. So out of 87 cases, only 22 cases occupier or director can be sent to jail. Out of these 20 cases, also 16 officers are compoundable. So jail is not required. Only 6 cases still can be sent to jail. This is very important development, I would say. And there are a few more clauses like uh, the definition of worker. Earlier, sales promotion employees, working journalists, and supervisory employees were not included. Now we have added those employees also who are drawing up to the salary of 18,000. They can be called as a worker. So they will be we're extending the statutory labor protections to wide segment of the workforce. A few more clauses like provisions related to the requirement of certified standing order shall apply only to industrial establishment employing 300 or more workers. At the moment, for some organization having 100 employees, they need to have certified standing order. The new laws, up to 300 employees, you're not required to have any kind of standing orders. Another important aspect about safety officers. Safety officer, current rule is you need to have one safety officer on every 1,000 employees. This has reduced to 500 employees now. We need to have safety officers for any industries having minimum 500 employees. Regarding licenses are very much important. Currently, we have so many licenses like for different licenses for under Factories Act, under Shops and Establishment Act, under BOC, and so on. So all licenses will be fixed into one licenses online portal, and that mechanism yet to come. How that mechanism will happen, but this is under process. So these are the major changes which are happening.
Will it attract more talent to the manufacturing segment, sir? Do you think
Yes,
this will
yes, yes.
attract?
This will attract more manufacturing, more people into manufacturing sector. Yes.
And what will be its overall impact on the manufacturing industry as such, sir? Like, is it will it contribute to more growth? Are there also risks involved? If you'd like to touch upon that,
Yeah, I would say this is will more pro industrialist, more of an I would say if you see summarize everything, you'll find there are more benefits to the industries. Somewhere we wanted to promote the industries, and I'm sure government has a thought that when we have more benefit to the industries, there will be more employment generation. You know, so this bureaucracy and those things sometimes reduce the investment, foreign investment, which is supposed to come to India. So government wanted to make ease of business doing business so that we can attract foreign investor. They can invest more into India, right? A lot of businesses going from China to India. That is one of the reason we want to
right?
further extend this benefit to the industries. So definitely is going to make more investment in India. More industries will open up, and I think a lot of unnecessary rules and regulation are reduced. For example, if I give you example, there were more than 105 rule which has come down to just 52 labor rules. If you talk about forms, there are more than 37 forms were there. Now those forms have been reduced to around 18 forms. If you talk about register, there were 3 registers. Now no register has to maintain. Licenses, I already told you the single licensing policy is there. Overall, we reduce unnecessary, unproductive work so that we can focus on our core business. Yes,
I got it, sir. Means these are all welcome changes for the economy as such, especially the manufacturing
definitely,
sector.
definitely. Yes, yes, yes.
But sir, see, so HR and IR teams, what are the challenges do you foresee for them, especially during this transition, especially around the working hours, standing orders, and social security?
See, I think for industries, as I told you that they can run the business smoothly. What happened as of now for any single case? Suppose the labor goes to the court, it kills a lot of time of employer. HR guy or legal guy goes every year for hearing and those sort of things.
Mm,
So what we're saying, we have made a flexibility of everything. There are more flexibility for the employer to run the business, to provide manpower as per the business requirement. So
mm,
only thing is, I would say now this is time for the employer to add more technology and those sort of thing to run the business better. Digitization is happening, and that should take now leap forward, coming out of this labor issues to technology now to move
mm.
to the next business competition. Yeah.
Got it, sir. And what are the challenges, not challenges, but what will be your advice to the HR teams specifically, while they are transitioning from one labor code to the next? Your colleagues, like your
Yeah.
advice to your colleagues.
Yeah. So what I will share them. As I told you, I think one of the important aspect is about creating a pipeline of the employees. That's important.
Yes.
And second is about I would say we can see that how the whatever strategy we are making, they are executed. For example, all the industries HR resource, I would say they should try to create a platform where resources are available to work. For
Mm,
example, and I suggest to create a platform where there is a platform where more than 15 million gig workers or
big
freelancers are available to work. Suppose a operational manager, they want to use this temporary worker for their operational expenses. Suppose they say I have this kind of budget for my permanent headcount. I will
yeah,
not go into that headcount. I will take a temporary employee from this platform,
yes.
gig workers. I use them for my project. I should able to
Mm,
do it. So we should focus from permanent employment to a contractual kind of assignment, because all the organizations, they're winning the project for low cost project only. We are looking for efficiency. So efficiency will only come when you provide more with the less resources. So this is one area we should go for a platform where we have more uh, you know seasonal employment, temporary worker available. This is one. Second, we should open the plethora of project to the existing employees.
yes.
So there are various employees who are working into one project for so many years. Sometimes they get bored of that project. Suppose a
Mm,
project manager, they want to see into other way around. Suppose I am project manager, I transparently put my project into our company intranet. I say I have
mm,
this project, and let everybody who is interested to volunteer for this project, they can come and volunteer it. And there are a
right.
lot of people who are bored of their projects. They want to learn something new. They will come and apply for this project. So
Mm,
somewhere HR and the top leadership will support this kind of employees who want to work for a different project. So you
mm,
build a capacity. Somewhere we are building a capability and capacity in the organization to a more
mm.
trained people, which are ready to work for current role and for futuristic role also. Thirdly, I would say, we should work on technology as well. In the sense, suppose today I'm working on and I'm looking for some role, right? We should have a kind of technology where we click on the role and you see which are the employees having similar kind of role, right? And when you click on role, you find out that what are the gaps in their skill set.
Got it.
And once you click on skill set, you will find what are the program required to bridge that gap, right? So
Yes.
somewhere we should have those kind of content or training module ready to impart skilling to the employees to the next level, so that we can enhance our capability to the next level.
This is very insightful, sir. This is a very good idea for any startup who must be working in this domain. Is that, sir? When we kind of talk about technology and innovation, do you also feel that, sir, not much has been done, especially by the innovation ecosystem, especially for the manufacturing sector as such, sir? And there is a lot of a scope of innovating in this segment, especially from the technology front, sir.
Yeah, I would definitely say that, how many of us are aware of taking the benefit of AI, generative AI, and agentic AI? We are not.
Yes.
AI is old now. We are talking about, suppose I want to book a ticket. I will use generative Gen AI. So he will will book a ticket. Suppose
Yes.
you want one stage further, agentic AI, he will suggest also that don't book the ticket. Climate is not good in that particular day. So
Yes.
we are looking for a technology which is not only reactive but
Mm,
proactive also. Moving
mm.
from Gen AI to agentic AI. So we are not using those kind of technologies in manufacturing organizations. Most of the organizations we are not using it. We should use more technology here. Again, as I was saying about the skill set development, I
Yes.
think we should create an platform where, just like Netflix. Netflix is what to watch today. We say what to learn today, what to learn
Yes.
next. So we create a content comprising all the process of the organizations. There are a lot of manufacturing process for each of the industries. You create a content and put an intranet, put into server, or put a training module where every employee can learn as per their requirement, maybe for hour, for a day, for 6 month or 3 month courses, and we certify that.
Mm.
That can work wonders for the organizations. So I would suggest all the organizations to have something like that kind of module to build our capacity further. Yeah.
Talking about the manufacturing industry as such, what are the values that you feel that HR should give? Like, if you could talk a bit on, the kind of culture that HR should develop inside manufacturing facilities.
Yeah, I would say, sometime it is best not to follow the best practices of others, because every organization is different. But still, there are a few, I would say, different values which are most common for any industries, especially for manufacturing industry, I would say. So I would call it, if you talk about culture, there are two sides of a culture. One is our operations side. So operations side, I would call it drive, DRRIV. So I would say we have to be daring. We have to be very responsive. We have to respectful for the employees. We should believe in inclusiveness, and we should go on venturing and very ethical. So I will call it business side of it.
Mm,
Coming to personal side, I would say this is more of a caring culture we have. We believe in not only respecting others, but we love, want to have collaboration and innovation among everybody, respecting each other. This is the way we do it, and talk about personal thing. Personal caring is about emotional well-being, how HR is taking care of their financial well-being, what about the physical well-being of the employees, and finally personal well-being. So they are very core to any organization. How HR can role play of culture building. I would definitely say HR is not only custodian, but all the top leadership, every employee is a custodian of culture. But somewhere everybody come together and somewhere run it, the best practices, take it to the next level. Few other thing, I would say, few of the values which are most important, and these values are, I would say, team player. I would say, if you see, India not won most of the cricket match because uh,
mm.
such Tendulkar has scored 100 century every match, but this is more of a 90% time where the entire team performed. India won the match. Always team perform, not the leader. It is important. Leader, this is important that they should lead by example. Those core values are important. We should do it first, show it, demonstrate how to do it, then tell others to do it. Rewards and recognition again is very much important. Sometimes we are reluctant to giving rewards. We don't appreciate, we don't recognize. So if you ask any leadership, ask oneself that how many time in a year I've appreciated somebody somebody may say thank you, good job. We don't do it. So building those kind
Yes.
of part of culture, rewarding somebody for a small thing, give very much motivation to the employee. And again, few leadership skills like imparting how to give feedback, very important. Conducting training, how to give feedback. Sometimes leaders, they're not aware how to give feedback. What are the tips for feedback? What about delegation? How to delegate team? So training is required delegation. What about execution part? How to build a strong team with the highest level of execution? What about emotional elegance? So as per research, it has been found that we are able to achieve a target maybe 5 times more once we add EQ with IQ. When you have more emotional elegance along with intelligence, that works better for any organization. What about transparency part that is missing somewhere? We have to be very transparent for development for everybody, for the organization. Will work better? These things are important, and few of the new thing which government is bringing. You talk about saving concept is very much important. How much HR come together and reduce the labor cost. That's
Yes.
important. Where we can save the cost with different project, maybe for applying for various scheme, or maybe in some clauses like section 80 where you save taxes on hiring new employees. So those are various things which works for every organization we should follow.